Okay, hello everyone, everybody. Today is the fourth week among the 10th week. So today we will class regarding for forms of business ownership. Lots of forms, as you know, there are proprietorship and stock company, as corporation, C corporation. Did you heard that? So today I will introduce the reference for your real life. Even if you guys, international students, you can do it in your own business. A little bit dangerous, but anyway, it's legally you can open your own business. Okay, today we will study the several forms of the business. So, forms of business. Also, this chapter has also some outcomes. It means is after you will studying this chapter, you should be able to answer these questions. This is learning outcomes. First, okay, first learning outcomes is what are the advantage and disadvantage of this of the sole proprietorship form of business organization. It means you are very familiar form of company, sole proprietorship, sandwich shop and some liquor store or flower shop. So lots of the sole proprietorship. So we will review the advantage and disadvantage about the sole proprietorship. And second learning outcomes is what are the advantages of operating as a partnership, and what downside risk should partners consider. This is for partnership with your friends, with your mom or dad. Did you see sometimes you can see the Frank and Sons, this and Sons, something like that. Maybe the company is a partnership company, the dad and son. So second outcome is what is the advantage of operating as a partnership. And third is how does the corporate structure provide advantages and disadvantages to a company, and what are the major types of corporation. There are some representative statistics. One thing is C corporation, S corporation, and LLC. So there are three kinds of corporations have advantages and disadvantages. So you will leave it there. And the fourth is what other options for business organization does a company have, and in addition to sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. So we're sorting by three. One thing is proprietorship, sole proprietorship, and partnership, and corporation. So most company we can divide three things. And next, what makes franchising and appropriating form of organization for some types of business, and what does it continue to grow in important. So we think about the form organization, what is the appropriate etiquette, good for franchise. We are review the franchise. And number six, what are mergers and acquisition? The M&A, mergers and acquisition important to a company's overall growth. Number six, overall growth, M&A market. So final learning outcomes is what current trends will affect the business organization for the future. So last week I said each chapter, this textbook, last learning outcomes, they think about it, yeah. We will think about the trends regarding for each item. So also this chapter, what current trends business organization in the future. So this is for last further verse. Okay, so first, this chapter consists of 7 verses. So first, going it alone means sole proprietorship. Second is partnership, share the load, share the asset, or share the risk, and share the responsibility. And third one is corporate. The limited your liability is corporate. As I said, we have 3 things: sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation style. Later we will study the S corp or G corp or something. And the specialized form of business organization, specialized form of non-profit or something. And 4.5 verse is franchising, popular trend, franchising, as we know the franchising. And 4.6 verse is mergers and acquisition, is M&A. Lots of companies combine and join and buy and sell something. And the last chapter is trends in business ownership. Okay, so chapter 4.1 is going it along, sole proprietorship. So okay, before the chapter 4.1, the type of corporation is there are some corporations, 6 categories. First, DBA filing. Later I will talk there. And secondly, S corp, C corp is corporation style, and LLC is also same thing. These 3 things is corporation style. And fourth is sole proprietorship, the single one. And 6, special business corporation is non-profit. The 6 is the type of the corporation thing. So first we will study the sole proprietorship. So the sole proprietorship means a business that is established, owns, operate, and often financed by one person, single player. It's a sole proprietorship. So what kind of advantage of sole proprietorship? So let me explain by Lordland. The pros and cons of sole proprietorship. So if you have open you alone, one person, there are some pros and cons. What is advantages? Easy setup and low cost. It's easy to open because you can decide at the same time if you look for your place or restaurant. You decide. Very easy. No concern about or discuss about other things. And also the low cost. And no corporate business taxes. If you have your sole or proprietorship, no tax business, no tax corporate business taxes. Also, no annual report or filing. No need to filing annual report to the IRS. And not restricted by formal business structure. You can any kind of business is sole proprietorship and easy record keeping because it's no need to annual report. So this is for sole proprietorship pros advantage. At the other hand, disadvantages is unlimited personal liability. So you own all things. That means is if the bankruptcy or loss of debts for your business, you have to have pay back all things. the unlimited personal liability. No ongoing business life. It is very difficult to operate it. So it's everlasting, ongoing, it's very difficult. And difficult to raise money because it's all raise money from your wallet. Also, sometimes you can borrow the money from bank, but it's very difficult to make asset or some investment from others. So the sole proprietorship is very difficult to raise money. If you want to make a second place, a third place, a third restaurant, a fourth restaurant, it's very difficult to raise money, collect money. Also can take on business steps. So you cannot take a business step. And unprofessional perception means is because you operate alone, so you need lots of help for others. Later we will talk about that. So these things is for disadvantage for sole proprietorship. So this is for summarize that. So the advantages of sole proprietorship: easy and inexpensive to form, very small money to open. Profit all to go to the owner. If you occur the profit, it belongs to you. Direct control of the business. You can control everything. And freedom for government regulation. The government regulation is very unlimited regulation, so you'll be free. You can open, close, and some very small regulation from government. No special taxes, no annual reporting. Ease of dissolution. Okay, if you want to close, okay, anytime you close, only you that. Disadvantage of sole proprietorship is unlimited liability. If you close your business, you can pay back all things because it's your liability. So that means it's unlimited liability. And difficult to raising capital. If you want to another branch, it's very difficult to raising capital, raising money from your wallet. That's why. Limited managerial expertise because it's your own operating your business. So that's why it's very difficult or not easy to get new information, new technology, and then you hire some employees, all responsibility for you. So limited managerial expertise. Trouble finding qualified employees. So you are very difficult to find employees. If you have some your own restaurant, you can find. You should hire the cook, but the cook is very powerful or not, is quality or not, it's very difficult. So trouble finding qualified employees. Personal time commitment, because it's you are open early, close time for late, because it's your own business. That's why. Unstable business life. It's very unstable. All things belongs to you on one person. That's why. Losses are the owner's responsibility. If you losses a lot, it's your responsibility. This is disadvantage for sole proprietorship. And let's move on. 4.2. Partnership. Sole proprietorship, partnership, and the corporation style. So the second one is partnership. The sharing the load. Sharing the load means is okay, I want to open restaurant with my friends. The load means is okay, I will charge for kitchen. You will charge for the outside. So it's load means it's responsibility, share the responsibility or duty. So partnership is two things, two kinds of. One thing is general partnership and limited partnership. So general partnership means is all partners sharing the management and profits. All share the management and profit. And each partner can act on behalf of the firm and has a limited liability for all its business obligations. So the partners have some obligation and duty, responsibility. This kind of partnership, we will say, the general partnership, but a very normal style. But on the other hand, there's a limited partnership. Means is one or more general partners, they have unlimited liability, and one or more limited partners, whose liability is limited to the amount of their investment in the company. So limited partnership means is okay, I will charge all responsibility 60%. You are only charging 40%. Okay, we are open $100,000 for sandwich shop, sandwich restaurant. So I will invest 70%, $70,000, and my partner friends will invest $30,000. That means it's 30% liability. Okay, so this is for limited partnership company. And also partnership has pros and cons. So partnership have some advantages. Check it. Okay, just right here. So advantage of partnership, advantages. So easy formation because it's 1 or 2 or 3%, very small partnership. It's very easy to formation. And the availability of capital, a little bit easy to make investment better than sole proprietorship. And diversity of skill and expertise. It means is the partners have some sandwich cook experience, and my case is hamburger good experience. So we combine the sandwich and hamburger restaurant. That means it's diversity of skills and expertise, and also experience and flexibility. A little bit flexibility. Partnership. No special taxes. Also, partnership is no need for special taxes better than corporation. Later we will check it. And relative freedom from government control better than sole proprietorship. So the sole proprietorship is a very limited regulation, but partnerships a little bit relative, a little bit freedom better than sole proprietorship. On the other hand, disadvantage of partnership is unlimited liability, also same proprietorship. Potential for conflict between partners. They are fighting to investors. So there is some different idea and different some experience and some first time they expectation to partners, but it's very problem. So there are lots of the idiom in relay. Right? So anyway, the partnership is very difficult because of this one. The potential for conflicting. Complexity of the profit sharing. Because it's we make the profit. Therefore, and first time we will decide, okay, 50-50. I invest 70%, you invest 30%. So I got a profit 70%. You got 30%. The problem is that even if we decide the portion, but yes, very complex, the profit sharing. That's why the partnership is very dangerous. Difficulty existing or dissolving a partnership. very difficult. Also, it's difficult to start the business because partners agree or not. Some case, most of the cases, somebody invest only money, and somebody only invest their skills and knowledge, and then they open the restaurant. Problem is to make share, profit sharing, and also, oh, I don't want to anymore to a partnership. Okay, how can we dissolve the exit? It's also very difficult because of partners. Okay, let's move to cooperation. Sole proprietorship, and partnership, and cooperation. Most companies pursue the cooperation is better, but the number of the corporations conquers majority of their sole proprietorship. Anyway, so meaning the corporations. Corporation meaning is a legal entity subject to the laws of the states in which is formed. The right to operate as a business is issued by state charter. State charter. So each state has some charter, the regulation, and then follow. This is all corporation. Let's explain again. A legal entity with an existence and life separation from these owners, who are not personally liable for the entity's debts. Entity debts is first time if you open your business, restaurant business, and chair, table, and cooker, so any other thing, it's entity debts. You personally liable for entity debts. And corporation is chartered by the state in which it is formed and can own property. So most regulation of corporation by each state sue and be sued and engage in business operations under the terms of its charter. It means this regulation there. So did you heard that later we will study the franchise, but in the California it's very difficult to business situation environment. Why? What the reason? There are many reasons for business in California, especially franchise. So some franchise main office in Arizona, the Las Vegas, because it's lots of regulation, especially franchise system. That's the reason. Okay, wait a minute. Oops. Okay, so incorporation process. What is the process for making incorporation? So it's very easy to process. Let me explain by illustration. Okay, the incorporation process is very easy, but finally I say this: you have to help from the expert. Is better. Anyway, the apply for name clearance. That means is if you want to your own business, you have to make name 3 names, and then you visit the county office, LA county office, and then they cross-check the duplicate name. So if you don't have any same name other business, and then approve your name from the county, and yes, and move on certificate for name clearance. The county issue that, or you can use your name, and then move to prepare M&A and required forms, M&A or Formal 1 or 4, and 6, 4, 5 or something. This is for some regulation because this is a corporation. And next step is open bank account, limit investment. So it means is if you approved from the county your business name, and then you have to visit some local newspapers, and then you apply the fictitious name, because it's even if you are approved your own name, but you have to announce or report to the public. That means it's fictitious name, and then the newspapers 3 to 5 days something announce that they report in public, and then nobody complain this one, and then you can get some by mail from the newspaper, and then you submit document to the bank. Okay, I already finished the fictitious name and people name approved from county, and then you be your any kind of big bank, and you can open your own business bank account and certificate of incorporation by city or sometimes the county. There are lots of regulations. So some case it belongs to the city approval. Some case is county approval. So there are different contents depends on the county. So also state. I say here government, state, and county, and city. So some regulation belongs in here. Some case belongs to county approval, and state also, and government also. So, for example, the taxes, federal taxes to government, and state taxes also. California state is different rate of the tax than other state. Also the county, and the smallest we contact the city county. So if you have your own business, they are connected full regulation. So for example, your minimum wage, you know which city is minimum wage, which county is highest minimum wage. I know San Francisco highest minimum wage per hour. I'm not sure, but it's 18 something dollars. Before pandemic, I remember 18 something. But in the LA County, now LA County minimum wage, $15, 15 something. But your government regulation is only $8 something. So even if the government is the priority, but county pursue the obligation for minimum wage for $15. Which one? Follow it. Is county. So if you hire some employer in LA County or business, you have to charge the $15 per hour minimum wage. So it's very difficult. Anyway, each levels have different minimum wage regulation. Government $8, state $12 per hour, but LA County is $15. So the San Francisco County is $18 something like that. And cities also they have very minimized the regulation for your business. So, but also the city regulation is also adapted to your business. So if you have business, there's related four steps. Okay. Okay. So corporation process, I explained that. And what is that? corporate structure. Okay, here. And corporate structure. What is the structure to build a corporation? There are, this is for example, corporation structure. You know the CEO, Chief of Executive Officer, this is for ownership, for most of the representative corporation. The CEO is Chief of Organization Officer, CFO, Chief of Financial Officer. So this CFO is related for finance. COO is related to human resource or organization chart. And the CEO is related for board of directors. Also, CEO is also board of director members. So board of directors is mostly they are investors. The board of directors represent chairman, board chairman, or chairman board. And then the board of directors need to share, the share, the stock. So board of directors decide, okay, we issue this tax. And then board of directors decide issue the stocks, and then we open to the market, collect the invest money from the shareholders. This thing is for corporate structures. Okay. Our class is introduction to business. So introduction is very slightly concept only. So if you want more details, these things start is maybe financial part. We will study that more deeply. And the advantage of corporation and the pros and cons of corporation. So what kind of advantage of corporation style? It's a limited liability because it's I invest 5 stocks. Limited liability means is okay, the company is close debt or exit or bankruptcy. Okay, I lose money only 5 stocks only. That means it's limited liability. And the ease of transferring ownership. Okay, I have stock. Or Amazon stock. And then ease of transferring ownership means I sell my stocks. This delivery or transfer. And unlimited life. If you want, you can keep going forever. And then inherent to yourself and others. And tax deduction. Because it's a corporation is charged for tax, government, state, county, city. That's why tax deduction property advantage. Ability to attract finance is a little bit easy to getting the finance investment. This is advantage of corporation. On the other hand, the disadvantage of corporation is double taxation of profit. It means is the corporation charge from government, state, county, and then I am a corporation members, board of members, and then I get some money from the company, and I have to report my own tax. That's why it's duplicate taxation. This is for disadvantage of corporation side. Cost and complexity of formation. Okay, because it's there are 3 kinds of corporation style, SC, limited, LLC, but this is a little bit difficult to formation. This is for that's why the need for help from expert, CPA or lawyer. More government restriction because there is a government pursue the regulation, lots of regulation, government, state, county, city, because this is public. That's why many regulation or restriction for corporation. Okay, this is the disadvantage of corporation. Okay, let's move corporation is limited your liability. Types, two things. And mostly we say this thing. One thing is C Corp, S Corp, and LLC, limited liability company. What is the definition of C corporation? C corporation means it's a conventional or basic form of corporation organization. But the S corporation is a hybrid entity that is organized like a corporation with stockholders, directors, and officers, but taxes like a partnership. It's easy. Very important is tax. With income and losses following through to the stockholders and taxes as their personal income. So mostly company consists as corporation because tax. C corp is a little bit different basic taxation. So also before each S corp, C corp, I explained that business structure is review again. Sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. And sometimes we say we sort by the profit, limited liability company. S corp belongs to C corp, S corp. So sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4. Sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, S corp also C corp, and limited liability company. So we review each one by one. And first, S corp. S corp is the, for example, ABC S corporation. On profit earns $10 million per year, and then 3 shareholders. 20%, 30%, 50%, so report the profit to IRS or individual shareholder level. So a person get $2 million, and then report to IRS, to shareholder levels. That guy is 50%. That means $5 million income. So the individual shareholders must report to the IRS 50%. This is S corporation style. And on the other hand, the C corporation is different. C corporation, C means is conventional corporation. So C corporation and the S corporation are a little bit different. So C corporation advantage is limited liability, more dollar for the investment, and size, perpetual life, ease of ownership change, ease of attracting talented employees, separate ownership from the management, some advantage. But C corporation has some disadvantages. That's why most companies prefer the S corporation. So extensive paperwork, double taxation, 2 tax returns, because it's government and the size, difficult determination, possible conflict with the stockholders and board of directors, initial cost, something like the disadvantage of C corporation. So I have some compare the federal state differences between S and C corporation. C corporation taxes as a separate entity. The company have some entity, but the taxes is separate. But S corporation avoid the double taxation. So that's why most company likes the S corporation. So I make some video. If you want to earn the money, or you want to become rich, correct? And 2 things. One thing is maximize your profit. The other one is how do you save the tax? 2 tracks, okay? Not illegally, legally, how do you save the tax? The other path is maximize your profit, maximize your save value. Okay, make there. And C corporation is shareholders are not taxes. Shareholders no need tax. Corporation doesn't pay income taxes. This is a big merit. And shareholder pay income on payment from the corporation pay to the income. But yeah, S corp is can include losses on personal tax returns. I get some profit from the S corp, and then I charge for individual tax only. And it's always recognized by federal and state. Federal and states charge for lots of regulation. But S corp is not recognized in certain states because this S corp is a little bit easy to control the regulation. This is for federal and states differences for the regulation. Okay, let's move on. Also, I said this S corp and C corp is different, double taxation and single taxation. S corp is double taxation and S corp is single taxation. Minimum size, medium size, small business. So if you want your own restaurant, I highly recommend S corp is better. This is also something like the partnership is also same because the partner is automatically is board members, same thing. So think about it. It's taxation and build up S corporation is easy to your own business. Okay. And limited liability company. A hybrid organization that offers the same liability protection as a corporation, but maybe taxes as either partnership or corporation. This is for limited liability company. So limited liability company, and where is it? Okay. So the limited liability company is some kind of some type of business entity like S corporation. So is the LLC is to easy to set up and not subject to many restrictions. So LLT is something educate for business, something like, for example, if you have some big building and lots of the tenants, in this case, you are open limited liabilities, better to control your property. So the means is two things. One thing is save the cost. The other one is taxation. So if you have some big building, it's very difficult to control, operate. So in this case, you are open the limited liability LLC. You make a LLC company, and then the LLC company control the building operate. It's easy to operate and escape some tax, something like S corporation. Very specified limited liability company. Okay, let's move. 4.4 is a specialized form of business organizations. Cooperatives, what's the meaning? This is the legal entity typically formed by people with similar interests, such as suppliers, customers, to reduce cost and gain economic power. This is cooperate. Means is co. Co means together, cooperate. That is cooperate. They combine. Together, cooperate means okay? Is cooperate. Because of what the reason? To reduce the cost and gain the economic power, something like buying power, or some sell power, something customer power. So cooperative has a limited liability also, and unlimited lifespan, no extent, and elected board of directors. Who's control that board of company, board of directors? Elected, we choose it. That means. And administrative staff. All profit are distributed to the members, owners, in proportion to their contribution. I invest $10,000 among $100,000. Okay, I charge for 10%. If the occurs profit, okay, I get it 10% of profit. That's the same portion. And there are two kinds of corporations: buyer cooperative, seller cooperative. As I said, it's reduce the cost, gain economic power. So buyer cooperative is a group of cooperative members who unite for combined purchasing power. Is with normally we say buying power. So you open your restaurant, and your friend also open restaurant. Very similar. In this case, you order together. It's better because buying volume is bigger, so it's it will be easy to deal with the suppliers. This is buy corporate. Mostly we say buying power. Seller corporate means is individual producers who join together to compete more effectively with large producers. This is for something, some kind of Costco style. So seller corporate. The Costco is very huge sales power. So there's a little bit different characters, but Costco is controlled the manufacturers. Okay, so this is seller corporate, seller power. And the other one is corporate specialized firms is venture business, a joint venture. Two or more companies that form and aliens to pursue a specific project, usually for a specific time period. So joint venture means is some specified period, okay, 3 years project, 5 years project, something like that. And open the company with some aliens, some connection agreement, and then open. Specify the time period and specific project. Okay, later we will study M&A. Okay, we will pursue the M&A. So we temporarily make the business joint venture and then finish the M&A project, and then this is for venture, a joint venture. Okay. Type of ventures is 4 kinds of them. This is for different, just I introduced it. Okay. Project, joint venture. We have some project and then temporarily and district time period we project. And functional, vertical, horizontal. These things is deeply reviewed in the financial part. Okay, let's move to 4.5. Franchise, very popular, specialized franchising. The company style, franchising, very very popular trend, as you know. So, what's the meaning of franchise? It's a form of business organization based on business arrangement between franchisor, which the franchise means is suppliers, the product or services concerned, and franchisee. It means is business agreement between franchisor and franchisee. franchising means it sell the goods and services of the franchisor in certain geographic area. So you know that lots of the franchise, Subway, McDonald's. This say again, the franchisee means is sell the goods and services of franchisors. So in a franchising agreement, they make agreement for the franchising agreement. The individual company that sells the goods and services of the franchisor in a certain geographic area. Okay, you can sell the Newport Beach, you can sell this other area. Franchisor is in the franchising agreement also the company that supplies the product and services concept to the franchisee. Is to supply the franchisor. So franchise agreement, what's the meaning? The contract setting out the terms of the franchising agreement, including the rules for running the franchise. Okay, we agreement if you want to our franchising, okay, 5 years agreement. That means is during the time you get some experience and skills and for example in the restaurant you can get the recipe. Recipe is very important factors for franchising, and especially the system. If you get the franchise with them, and then at least 5 years, you cannot open similar items. So the service provided by the franchisor and the financial terms, correct? And under the contract, the franchisee is allowed to use the franchisor's business name, trademark, and logo, as you know, Subway restaurant. You can use that. And they charge for you. Nowadays, the franchise is charged for them for a franchisee fee. Some cases 1 time or 2 times. There are several kinds of franchising types. So first time, 1 time shop, or there are no need to franchising fee, only charge for buying power. Something. So you have to buy from franchisor. This is for another things because of we can say this buying power. Okay, franchising. And let's move to franchise. Popular trends is what is the pros and cons. Advantages of franchise is increased ability for franchisor to extend. And recognize the name, product, and operating concept means is loyalty, brand loyalty. And management training and assist. The franchisor assist franchisee. Financial assessment. Some cases, some franchisee is open. Okay, for example, if you want to McDonald's, is first initial investment. I'm not sure, but it's $2.5 million. But you need to experience for manager at least 2 to 3 years. I'm not sure. Anyway, so financial assistance means is if you have experienced managers some local McDonald's for 3 years, and then you want to open your own McDonald's, and then you find some new location. Also, you invest $2.5 million, for example, and then the McDonald's company assists the financial. Example, I invest $1 million, McDonald's invest partnership for $1.5 million, something like that. Okay, so financial is assist from the franchisors, it's advantageous franchise. And on the other hand, the disadvantage franchise, loss of control, very limited activity, control. Cost of franchise, so we have to pay the franchise fee. Restricted operation freedom, so the franchises regulations okay open 10 to 10, but we cannot control that. Open to hour, open to cross timing, something like that. It's a district operation. And franchise growth. What is the futures franchise futures? There are lots of the chance to extend the franchise. Where is that? So next big thing is franchising, because it's mostly futures focus two things. One thing is time. One thing is the other one is cost. As you know, the pandemic, lots of the people lost the job. Nowadays, did you heard that the news? Many small companies very difficult to get employees. No one, most people don't want, right? Something 2 years ago. So they are very difficult to get the employees. So the futures in the business focus, how can we save the time? And the other track is how can we minimize the cost? These things. So franchising is to focus to minimize the cost. Okay. So franchise is more chance or opportunity in the market. Also, international franchise. Now, as you know, this is better in China, East area, Africa. Okay. This is common sense. And this franchising is in your future, depends on your So if you want your business, franchise is a little bit chance to your reach. Okay, let's move. Pros and cons I explained there. And let's move to M&A. Why M&A is a business corporate business ownership forms. M&A is very popular and powerful corporation style. So each one I explained the mergers. Mergers means a combination of two or more firms to form one new company. This is mergers. But acquisition is different, a little bit different. The purchase of target company by another corporation or by an investor group typically negotiate with the target company board of directors. Okay, let me explain. Mergers means is a combination, one or two companies. Acquisition is buy them. So M&A means is combine, buy, stock share or something. This is M&A. There are four kinds of M&A. So horizontal mergers, vertical mergers, conglomerate mergers, and leverage buyout. So it is very deep things. So that anyway, the mergers means it's combination one or more companies. Mergers modibus, energy, truth means is 1990s. There are lots of the trends in the mergers, M&A, in the world. So nowadays is very difficult to mergers because it's, for example, Sprint, AT&T asking or apply the mergers in the government. Government decide the final answer, okay or not, because it's a market share. So it's a difficult, it's a different story. So later we will study chance. So now I don't want to say this one. So anyway, The M&A is the 1990s is popular trend, fashion, but now it's different. Okay. This is a general process, means is briefly I explained this M&A strategy developer. First time make project, and then search criteria, and companies for acquisition, evaluate them, and contract target companies, contact A company to contact B, and then perform valuation analysis. Okay, what is your value, stock price, and you have some asset and evaluate, and then negotiation. Okay, stock price is ratio 2 to 2.5, something like that. And letter of intent, M&A due diligence, and purchase and sale contract, and interrogation. That's it. So mostly is analysis, evaluation, valuation, and then finally they decide the M&A. And last chapter is, I said, is the trend. What's the trend of business ownership? You know that the baby boomer and the millennials drive franchise trends. The millennials and baby boomers is powerful and popular customers. So they like the franchise type. Boomers rewrite the rules of retirement. Means is nowadays is many experts report for the population is getting more to rich people, old people is more portion of the population. So in this case, boomers think about this. How's my social security? So today news. The government first thing, mostly they increased the social security on 1% or 2% increase because it's delayed the inflation now. But today news, next year they increased the 5.9%, very huge. So mostly retired guys, retirement is on at least $97 or something. About $100 is increased next year. This is because there's a boomers retirement plan. Also, mergers and foreign investment boom. Now it's almost 2-year pandemic. So also this pandemic is affected both economic growth and economic markets. So anyway, after 21st century, the mergers and M&A is a very popular trend in the global market. Okay, that's all today class, and thanks for watching today class, and see you next week. Okay, thank you, bye.